More than 50% of the population in the United States have issues with attachment, and that means how it is that they form emotional bonds with other people. And this is so important because it impacts our relationships with our romantic partners, our friends, our colleagues, and of course, our relationship to ourselves and self-esteem. So my name is Bev. I created this channel to talk all things about attachment styles and how it impacts us throughout our life and our different life cycles. If this is something that is of interest to you, please give us a like, subscribe, and share it with your friends if you think it's worth sharing. Let's dive in. The subconscious mind governs upwards of 97% of our thoughts, our beliefs, and emotions, and ultimately our behavior.
Wow.
So, and most of the time we're not aware of our subconscious mind unless we actually bring it into our conscious awareness and we really think about it. So our conscious awareness governs 3, 4, maybe 5%, right? So the subconscious mind is really just simply trying to pull you towards what is familiar because it's a survival tactic.
Sure.
We've already lived through this. I know it's familiar. We know how to handle this scenario. So we'll keep going back to a dynamic that we know. Have you ever had this feeling where you met someone and you're like, it just feels so familiar,
Uh-huh. Of
right?
course. Yeah.
That's part of the attraction. What you're saying is this dynamic, I understand this dynamic. I've lived it before. And so if we don't examine that and we don't think about it, that's the direction that we go. When you meet someone who's, emotionally safe, right, securely attached, oftentimes that will feel unsafe to you because you haven't experienced this before. You don't
Yeah.
have a template. Your operating system doesn't recognize it. You're like, this is foreign. Like, what is this? And you'll reject it. Right? It'll
Yeah.
feel odd to you. And the way that we reject it is very interesting. Like many people, especially on the internet, talk about the ick.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So you'll get these moments of the ick where you're like, that doesn't feel good. That's your subconscious mind actually trying to signal you there's a discomfort. Something feels off, something feels wrong. But again, the subconscious mind is just saying, we don't know how to handle this situation. Not that the situation is unsafe, but we confuse those messages. Unfamiliar. Yeah. And so if you truly want to connect with someone who's securely attached and you've never had that type of love in your life, it is going to feel different, foreign, scary. It's going to
Sure.
be unsettling. But just for a period of time until you could sort of acclimate to, okay, this is the new normal, right? But typically what happens is we don't give people that much time. You know, we
Sure.
we don't. Like we
Yeah.
go out on a first date and we go, not for me.
So when somebody's on like dating,
Yeah.
right? What would make them get those like butterflies with some and not others?
Excellent
If they're
question.
familiar?
Um, no, not
Okay.
necessarily if they're familiar. So there's a couple of things. Attraction is science-based. I know we
Okay.
tend to think people say you can't help who you're attracted to, which is true to a degree. It is.
Sure. Yeah.
Um, uh, I don't believe that you can't help who you fall in love with because falling in love is a process of intentional spending time with someone, getting
Hmm.
to know them, and you could choose to not spend time with someone by which you'll never fall in love with them, right?
Sure. Yeah.
But attraction's different, right? So a couple of things. There's trait variety. Trait variety with this is the whole adage of opposites attract.
Okay.
So this goes back to early humanity. So if I was, like a strong, caveman and I was resourceful and good at hunting and you were very nurturing and loving and good at other things, you and I, let's say you were really intelligent, it would make sense for our survival to come
Team
together.
up.
Because if we
Yeah.
teamed up, both of us had a higher likelihood of survival. So that trait
Mm.
variety is actually built into our lizard brain.